daughters. Keeping my students and children happy and safe is my top priority. But too many kids today are struggling, from stuff at home to falling behind in school and the overuse of devices. There are many factors contributing to the youth mental health challenge, and they should all be taken into account. We need comprehensive solutions that support parents and kids.
When I'm congested, I can't breathe, can't sleep. That's why I Navage. The powered suction gives me the power to remove congestion fast by flushing out
germs, mucus, bacteria, and viruses.
In like 30 seconds. I can feel the results.
Get #1 doctor-recommended Navage.
Our health care is being stolen. If 200 Planned Parenthood health centers are forced to close, Jamie's cancer goes undetected. Tati can't get birth control. Jake misses STI testing. We can't let this happen. Millions depend on Planned Parenthood health centers for care. Go online, call, or scan the code on your screen to donate $19 a month, and we'll send you this Care No Matter What t-shirt. Act now to save their care and yours.
AI can turn your lights on.
Lights on.
And drive your car. And even write your kid's essay. But AI ain't gonna fix your broken water line or pay for the big repair bill. Having a plan from HomeServe offers real solutions. And when a covered system breaks, we'll send a qualified contractor and pay for the repair. There's nothing artificial about the peace of mind you get with a plan from HomeServe. Getting one is quite intelligent.
Plans from HomeServe start at just $4.99 a month.
Call 1-800-324-0144 or visit homeserve.com.
Entyvio is the only gut-focused treatment for moderate to severe Crohn's and UC. Gut-focused Entyvio works right where you need it to block inflammation in your gut. With a legacy of more than 10 years, Entyvio offers the experience you need, lasting relief and steroid-free remission. And some people experience rapid symptom relief. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. Although unlikely, PML, a rare brain infection that can result in death, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. With Entyvio, you may be able to pay as little as $0 per dose. Ask your doctor if Entyvio, including the Entyvio pen, is right for you.
Gut focused Entyvio.
How do we stop it?
We need someone who can code in COBOL.
What's COBOL?
This is the job for sponsored jobs.
Indeed can help you get it right the first time. Sponsor your job on Indeed and get matched with quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com.
We begin tonight with breaking news.
Now more than ever, Canadians are choosing CTV News. Nationally.
What is Canada's strategy moving forward?
Locally.
Now to a story you'll only see here.
Online and on the go.
Prime Minister, pleasure to host you today.
Thanks for having me, Bastion.
Whether you're watching, listening, or streaming, this is the place to be.
Trust CTV News, now more than ever.
I'm really sorry. I thought that we could go and have a fun weekend where we'd film something weird and experimental and maybe something cool would come from it.
Jesse!
There he is. There's someone there.
Okay. What? No, we're not going back. Dude,
nobody's making your dumb movie anymore, man.
Newsnight with Abby Phillip, live next on CNN.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Eucora, effective ingredient so you can get your life back.
I had 8 UTIs in 1 year. This inspired my husband and I to start Eucora.
It truly works miracles.
The peace of mind I've been looking for.
Try today at eucora.com.
Tonight we are learning just how expensive it could be to rebrand the Defense Department as the Department of War under President Trump's executive order. According to the Congressional Budget Office, it could cost up to $125 million. The CBO says that a spending report that was obtained by the department shows nearly $2 million has already been spent on new flags, new plaques, new identification badges, new updated training materials. The Pentagon is still moving ahead, even though any permanent and legal name change, of course, as we know, has to be enacted by Congress. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. CNN Newsnight with Abby Phillip starts now.
Tonight, boiling point in Minneapolis. Donald Trump threatens the Insurrection Act as the governor begs him to remove ICE from the streets. Plus, the rhetoric rises.
The insurrectionists
come out of hiding.
I likened what Donald Trump was doing to what was happening in the early days of Nazi Germany.
Also, the opposition leader hoping to lead Venezuela gives Trump an incentive to back her, a Nobel Peace Prize. And as his presidency, party, and policies face low numbers, Trump once again floats canceling the midterm elections.
The president was simply joking.
Live at the table, Scott Jennings, Charles Blow, Brianna Lyman, Christopher Hahn, and Lev Parnas. Americans with different perspectives aren't talking to each other, but here they do. Good evening. I'm Abby Phillip in New York. Let's get right to what America's talking about. The Insurrection Act. Tonight, in a significant escalation, President Trump is threatening to invoke the centuries-old law to deploy armed forces to Minnesota. He wrote today, if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE, I will institute the Insurrection Act. Now, tensions are extremely high in Minneapolis as the city is reeling from its second ICE-involved shooting in just a week. Scenes like this have been playing out all day in that city, showing federal agents clashing with protesters, firing pepper balls. And in the hours following Trump's warning, Minnesota's governor, Tim Walz, appealed directly to him, writing, "Let's turn down the temperature. Stop this campaign of retribution. This is not who we are." Now, we should note that this is not the first time that the Trump administration has threatened to use the Insurrection Act. It's something that the White House has been telegraphing for quite some time now.
You can use the term insurgency. You can use the term insurrection. Engaging in these trained insurgent tactics. This is a party that has embraced full-scale insurrection. There has to be street battle against armed insurrectionists. They're saying they're going to carry out insurrection against the federal government. It is an insurrection. This is an all-out campaign of insurrection against the sovereignty of the United States. He declared a no-go zone for ICE. How is that not insurrection? It is domestic terrorism. It is insurrection.
Now, Stephen Miller has also posted about insurrection at least 30 times just in the last year since Trump took office for the second time. These posts get hundreds of thousands of views. CNN senior legal analyst Ellie Honig is going to join us in our fifth seat tonight. But I do want to start with this idea of the Insurrection Act and whether this is the moment that the Trump administration has been waiting for. Scott, you have been convinced that this is the time.
Yeah, they'd be well within their rights to do it. I mean, you've got a governor of Minnesota who has said out loud that he believes they exist in a state of occupation of the federal government. You've got people going off to trainings, training how to fight federal agents. You've got massive amounts of money flowing into these groups to fund this stuff. And you have a bunch of elected officials in Minnesota who seem to believe that federal laws do not apply there. And you have massive unrest and massive disorder in the streets. And just last night, a ICE agent was trying to arrest a Venezuelan national, and two other Venezuelan nationals, all illegal immigrants, came out and tried to beat him to death with a shovel, which has apparently enraged everyone in Minnesota. They have a lot of problems there, and if Trump decided to do it, I think he'd be well within his rights to do so.
Well, Scott's right that Donald Trump does have very broad discretion to invoke the Insurrection Act. If he does that, he will certainly be challenged in court, and I think he'll probably prevail because of how broad the law is. But let's also step back and get a little historical perspective here. If Donald Trump invokes the Insurrection Act over this, it will be the weakest invocation of the Insurrection Act in U.S. history. And let's just go through the recent history. The last time it was invoked, 92 L.A. riots, 63 people dead, $1 billion worth of damage. Anyone who was, most of us, maybe not you, but we're alive and remember that. And this is nothing compared to the L.A. riots. Before that was the late 50s, early 60s, desegregation, when certain towns and states in the South were defying Brown versus Board of Education, the Supreme Court for years, and Eisenhower, JFK, and LBJ all invoked the Insurrection Act to make sure that black students could get into public schools. This does not even begin to compare to that. So can he do it legally? I think he probably can. Is it a sound use of the Insurrection Act? I think it's historically completely out of step with the way we've seen it used by prior presidents.
The problem with Trump
is that he doubles down on mistakes. So do I think he might invoke the Insurrection Act? Absolutely, because he's losing here politically, and he's feeling embarrassed, and he's got to find a way out. And I don't know that there is a way out unless the grown-ups, the Democrats that run Minnesota and Minneapolis, come to him and say, okay, here's a deal, Mr. President. We'll make it look like you have a win. Just like, our friend from Venezuela had to give her Peace Prize to him today. He needs something to show that he won. And I'm hoping that they could come to some sort of deal like that.
And also as part of his kind of makeup, he believes that the only way to deal with dissent is to crush it.
Right.
That is not only horrible politics, it is un-American, and it is likely to fail. This is, and they've been building up to this idea that they will create the crisis and then they will solve the crisis by cracking down even harder than the forces that you use to create the crisis. They're asking ICE to do outrageous things. They are recruiting them using Nazi, white supremacist propaganda, hinting to that. And then people see that. People who don't recognize it as Nazi or white supremacists, maybe they just join anyway. But the ones who do recognize it see it as a hint, the same kind of hint as stand back and stand by. And then you put those people in the field. This is not people coming to Washington to protest. These are people being placed in my neighborhood doing horrible things to my neighbors. And when people respond to that, they say, now the problem we created, we will solve with more force. This is a horrible political play.
First of all, how dare you sit here and accuse ICE agents of being Nazi, Gestapo, and white supremacists when they are enforcing law? You just insinuated that they're apparently recruiting others. You said they're recruiting others, and then it's a dog whistle for others to then apply to that.
Absolutely.
Second of all,
let me tell you what he's referring to.
You didn't see that?
He's referring to posts that have been put out on social media by DHS.
I've seen all the posts.
And on the Department of Labor and on other accounts that have been traced back to white supremacist chat rooms, iconography.
That's like equivalent if Hitler drank water. So if you drink water, you're Hitler.
Did you not see the one?
Well, look,
did you not see the one with George Washington?
There's plenty of stuff.
Did you see the one with George Washington?
Which specific one?
The one where they were using Nazi, it's hinting at Nazi phrasing over a picture of George Washington. Did you see it? Did you see it? You didn't see it.
Well, what was the Nazi phrasing?
You said you see it, but you didn't see it.
What is the phrase? What is the phrase?
And you didn't see it.
And the reason
no one knows the phrase.
Can I continue my answer?
You can't say the phrase.
I don't want to, guys, hold on.
I don't know what you're talking about. The bigger problem.
1 second. Everybody stop talking. Just a second. I don't want to go down this cul-de-sac. All I was saying, just in response to your question, is that he wasn't saying ICE agents are Nazis or whatever it is. He was saying that some of the iconography that has been used and some of the phrases that have been used by DHS on social media, people have linked back to very specific places where white supremacist ideology is utilized. You can disagree with that, but that is what he's talking about.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to say.
Now to the crisis on hand. Democrats created...
Crisis of his own making.
Just can you let her
Really?
finish?
Because I think it was Joe Biden who opened the border for 4 years and let in not only illegal aliens, but otherwise inadmissible aliens. And what did you think was going to happen when you let in millions of illegal aliens? It means that ICE must then carry out mass deportations because guess what? There are laws in the books. Now the question then becomes, do you care about enforcing laws on the books, or do you think it's okay to just ignore certain laws?
Of course we want to enforce laws on the books.
So that's what ICE is doing.
Obama enforced the immigration laws. He deported millions of people. He wasn't shooting people in the street. He wasn't breaking car windows. His poll numbers didn't collapse over it because he was being overly aggressive and un-American. Where are all the Tea Party people who had the don't tread on me signs? Where are they today? We've got tanks in the streets in America. Not tanks, but troops in the streets in America. This is America, and this is an un-American activity.
Okay, what this law will do, just so everyone understands, if invoked, it will allow the president to deploy the military. We're beyond National Guard here, so Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, into the streets to serve a policing function. Now, historically, we've tried to separate those two, right? For good reason. Posse comitatus is the Latin phrase, but it just means troops don't do policing. And so the question really is it necessary? Will it help? Is it necessary to send in the military will that help ICE do its job better? And look, I grew up with, not grew up, but, in my job professionally, knowing dozens of ICE agents, and they've all been very good, very solid people who want to do the right thing. I made major cases with ICE. I mean, ICE doesn't just do deportation, they make criminal cases as well. So in my experience with ICE, they're not Nazis, they're not racist. But do we need to bring in uniformed Army, Navy, Marines to get on the streets with them? I promise you, ICE would tell you, would say, it's not.
I want to make sure we get this phrase in, because the phrase is one homeland, one people, one heritage. Remember who we are as Americans over a picture of George Washington. And that is a hint at what a lot of people are suggesting is a hint at a Nazi German party thing that said one people, one realm, one leader. Do you remember what the largest Nazi rally ever held in America, where it was held?
Have you ever seen a dollar bill that says one nation under God? Have you ever read John Jay, who said we were one people with one language?
Madison Square Garden in 1934. And you know what picture was on that stage? George Washington. And you know what the person said when they got on the stage to introduce that Nazi rally? Was that if George Washington was alive today, he and Adolf Hitler would be friends.
And a normal president.
Let me just make one more note. You were talking, Chris was talking about.
Well, when you call people white supremacists, keep quiet.
Scott, you talk a lot about these so-called 80-20 issues. So Trump seems to be on the way to turning immigration into at least a 70-30 issue, not in his favor. The latest AP poll says just 38% of Americans approve of immigration. That's way down from where he started. This is politically not working in Trump's favor. At what point are they going to realize that maybe things have gone too far?
Some of those people may disapprove because they want there to be more deportations even faster. We've deported 2.6.
I don't think. Well, based on the poll,
I do.
Hold on, Scott. Based on the polling, we have a lot of polling, especially this week. There's been a CNN poll. There's a Quinnipiac poll. It's pretty clear. They disapprove of his handling of deportations. They disapprove of what happened in Minnesota with Renee Good, and they disapprove of Trump's handling of immigration. If they thought that he was doing a great job, they would applaud what has been happening so far, and they aren't.
I mean, look, we can debate the polling. I can only refer you to the November 2024 election, in which Donald Trump flatly told the American people he was going to deport illegal aliens. He was going to mass deport illegal aliens, and that's exactly what they've done. They've deported.
He said he was going to deport the worst of the worst.
Yes.
And they are.
No, they're not.
And so
73% of them have no record whatsoever. That is not false. And only 3% have violent crime.
Let me finish. I get asked questions, and you just talk, and you talk.
So you've never talked over anybody. Thank you, sir.
So Charles, finish your thoughts, Scott.
Here's the deal. He ran on it, and he's doing it. And he's going to be the president for the next 3 years, and they're going to continue to do it. They've deported 2.6 million people. About 2 million have actually self-deported. Only 600 and something thousand have actually been deported through ICE or Border Patrol or other law enforcement operations. So the vast majority of people who are leaving the country are doing so through self-deportation. To me, the greatest question here is, why does it and why is it that Democrats in the state of Minnesota believe that they should be immune from or not applicable to federal immigration law that has been on the books for years? We haven't passed any new laws.
And again,
we haven't passed any new laws.
That's
not the question.
It's a misleading statement about how Democrats believe.
Listen to their own statement.
No, it's misleading.
People are responding to the cruelty.
It's when you ask for the cruelty.
When we come back, we'll talk about what Democrats and people in Minneapolis are mad about, because there's some very specific examples that I want us to dig into. So let's push pause on this conversation. We'll continue after the break. Plus, also breaking tonight, the Venezuelan opposition leader who wants Trump's backing to lead the country has given him a gift that he has always wanted, her Nobel Peace Prize.
All the news, Laura Coates Live, tonight at 11 on CNN and watch on the CNN app.
Buying a car is kind of a big deal. There's like a million options, and you deserve something you love. At Car Gurus, we get it. As the #1 most visited car shopping site, we make sure your big deal is the best deal.
Doctors recommend Colay stool softener for gentle, dependable relief from constipation. It's so gentle, doctors even recommend it during pregnancy and after surgery. Colay's increases water in the stool, making it softer so it's easier to go. Also available in delicious gummies and soft chews.
Herbal Essences is a force of nature.
Made with supercharged botanical blends, our sulfate-free formulas deeply penetrate to boost hair health without the Salon Naturals price tag. Herbal essences.
What are you doing? I'm trying to reach this dust. Why don't you just use the Swiffer duster? This cleans in all the really tight places and all the really hot ones so you don't have to jump. Looks like you got into everything.
Chef Lena is taking the Tide Boosted test.
Oh, yeah, I need it.
Try Tide. It's boosted. The other stuff can't match Tide's Boosted Clean. Test passed.
Smells like clean.
It's cleaner, whiter, brighter, and fresher. It's got to be Tide.
Boosted!
Febreze. What does coming home to the delightful scents of Febreze plugs feel like? Like the best welcome home ever. Because Febreze has a microchip to control scent release, so it's first stay fresh for 50 days. And a refill reminder light so that freshness never ends. Want to make the best even better? Try Plug Scent Booster with 3 intensity settings, flexible placement, plus a boost button for extra scent. And extra welcome home.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Password 1234.
Incorrect password.
Technology, am I right?
We need a new tech lead.
This is a job for Sponsored Jobs.
Sponsor your job on Indeed and get matched with quality candidates when you need them most. Visit Indeed.com/hire now.
Youth mental health is a complex challenge that requires comprehensive solutions. We must strengthen after-school programs. We must make digital literacy tools available in our schools. We must work with mental health professionals to support children. And we must empower mentors, educators, and parents to keep kids happy. Learn more about our commitment to finding lasting solutions at empowerourfuturecoalition.com/solutions. Paid for by the Coalition to Empower Our Future.
Watch what happens in here when you file with TaxSlayer for just $22.99. Credits, tax breaks, deductions, and another happy American gets their maximum refund with 100% accuracy. U.S.-based real human support. File by February 8th for $22.99. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
When it's time to start your business, it's time for Shopify. Design with easy-to-customize themes. Sell everywhere people shop. And never miss a sale with the world's best converting checkout. See why millions of businesses sell with Shopify. Start your free trial today.
Don't let the quiet fool you. As peaceful as this place may seem, it's home to giants. So if you go searching for something truly wild, truly powerful, truly beautiful, this is their world. When your heart needs to race, Canada's heart is calling.
We're trying to follow the threads of our ancestries.
We're looking for the truth. We've been looking for Viking artifacts.
Whoa, 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 what's that?
The thing you find is always in the last place you look.
Is that 1144?
3 feet of snow, shoveling snow, and bingo.
Oh, yeah!
The most disastrous
There we go.
excursion that we have gone on.
We're actively on the hunt for the truth.
Welcome back.
New season. Plenty of reasons to get caught up.
We're mature, rational.
That's trash.
We are getting spicy tonight.
Have I got news for you? New season premieres January 24th on CNN and next day on the CNN app.
Do you have an ID on you, ma'am?
I don't need an ID to walk around in my city. This is my
Okay,
city.
do you have
This is
some
my
ID
home.
then, please?
I don't need an
If
ID.
not, we're going to put you in the vehicle and we're going to ID you, please.
I am U.S. citizen. I don't need to carry around an ID in my home.
Well,
This is
where
my
were you,
home.
Where were you born?
This is my home.
Where were you born?
Minneapolis is my home.
Let's continue this debate where we left off. Lev Parnas joins us at the table. That video that we just played there is just one of the many examples of one of the things that has, I think, riled up the Minnesotan community so much. A woman apparently walking in her neighborhood stopped and pressed to prove her citizenship, or not even to prove her citizenship, to prove whether she was born in the United States, which doesn't necessarily indicate if you were a citizen. That's just one example of what has been going on in Minneapolis.
I mean, to me, it's like PTSD. I mean, remembering growing up in the Soviet Union back in 89, 90, going back there and then watching, basically, you couldn't walk the streets without being pulled over by the police asking you for your documentation. And now we're seeing the same thing play out here. I mean, he's getting his great rules and learning from the best Putin, you know, and he's following in his footsteps. I know Scott doesn't like it, but he's auditioning for Caroline Levitt's job. You know, when she leaves, he's gonna be the next press secretary.
Well, let me just first say, and I know you had a very different experience growing up, but it's extremely insulting to compare the United States to the Soviet Union. The 1940 Alien Registration Act, aliens 14 years and older who have been in the country for 30 days must carry proof of ID. The INA Section 2648 U.S. Code 1304 subsection E says non-citizens 18 plus must carry identification.
She's a U.S. citizen. So
my point. Can I finish?
Hold on a second.
How do you know?
Hold on. What's the? She's a citizen. So what's the point?
My point is that all aliens are required to carry identification. The same way, if I am pulled over, they're going to say, "Do you have ID?"
Let me give you another example. There was a lawsuit filed today by the ACLU. A U.S. citizen, Mr. Ali Dahir, was detained after he shared an elevator in his building, a building that primarily housed Somali and Latino residents, with ICE agents. When Mr. Dahir exited the elevator and walked outside, the agents followed him, called him over, stopped him, saying they needed to speak with him. They took a picture of his face with their phone and asked him for his identification. He provided a passport card and was told, that doesn't count. We're going to have to detain you. So again, American citizens don't need to carry their papers in this country. And there are a lot of examples of that. There are thousands of federal agents on the street. And if they were just focused on criminals, again, I don't think we would be seeing this. I think one of the reasons we're seeing this is because of those are just two examples. I have more, but I'll let you respond.
So I asked the Department of Homeland Security about that video that we have been playing on CNN. First of all, I don't know what happened to that lady, and I don't know what her status is.
They walked away, and she was free to go. Yeah.
Oh, really? So she wasn't detained?
Yeah, well, as you watched in the video.
Be harassed by her
but Scott, as you saw in the video, there was a lot of back and forth, but there were also many people around witnessing this exchange as well. So that's what happened.
So here's what DHS told me: we're doing targeted enforcement. Okay. They would have to have reasonable suspicion.
Okay,
Fourth
Scott,
Amendment if it's a casual encounter.
What was the reasonable suspicion?
All right, so
I've heard this so many times before.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
You're a citizen.
I'm aware that obviously DHS is not going to admit to a constitutional violation, but they're being sued in court over not just
by who?
incidents.
The ACLU?
They're being sued by American citizens over what they're calling illegal stops.
We'll see if the ACLU is any better lawyer over this than they were over transgender sports this week.
There are documented cases of American citizens being harassed by ICE, of non-citizens being stopped randomly simply based on maybe they have an accent, maybe they happen to be in a particular place like near an airport working for Uber. And at the very least, it raises questions about whether people's constitutional rights are being violated. And if that is the case, isn't it justified for Americans to be concerned about that?
So, according to the reporting, there have been 170 American citizens who have been detained for some period of time during this period in which they have deported about 660,000 illegal aliens. That's about a 99.9997% success rate. If any other government agency got stuff that right that often, we'd be throwing them a ticker tape parade.
He sounded very Herman Cain right now. That's not the point. The principle is not, first of all, it's not even just the people who are detained, it's the people who are stopped and questioned. That is also a violation of your rights because you should not have the authorities stopping individual people just because you're in the proximity of where they're doing their work.
They have reasonable suspicion.
That's what they said to you. That's what they said to you. That doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it true. And then you said earlier we can't look to the Russian example. We don't have to look to the Russian example. We have a history in this country of people having to stop and show papers, and it was outrageous even then. And we could go from enslavement.
If you don't like it, then elect people to get rid of the 1940 law and the INA.
We go from enslavement that goes before that. Enslavement is before that. You gave about getting pulled over. Well, that's reasonable suspicion. They can ask you for your ID. You're walking down the street or you're protesting, exercising your First Amendment right. Republicans love the Second Amendment, but what about the First? Okay, the First Amendment right to protest. This president thinks every protester is an insurrectionist.
And I think that the American people see through it now.
Do you know
and they are coming for him in November, Scott.
Do you know anything
in
about?
a big way.
Do you know anything about that lady's case? Do you know anything about the suspicion they may have had? And we already found out they didn't detain her at all. She had a brief encounter.
They must have had none if she wasn't detained.
So you're very worked up about a situation in which a woman answered questions
Scott,
for 10 seconds.
That is actually exactly the point, is that if ICE agents had a legitimate reason to stop and detain her, they would have done it. Whether she proclaimed her innocent.
They asked her a question.
Right, exactly. So that's
they let her go.
That is exactly my point. They let her go because they did not have a reason to stop her.
No, they realized.
That's what they realized. Right.
When you have reasonable suspicion and you do a few questions, then you realize, okay, you know what? Then this is actually not what I thought of.
You know what that was? That sounds like stop and frisk, which the president said he was going to bring to a national scale, and that is exactly what this is a stop and frisk.
You got uniformed guys with masks on saying papers, please. In America.
Right, because of the laws.
Get ready for every commercial.
You also know that Antifa wears masks, right? When they burned down the
They shouldn't. So should the government be like Antifa? Is that what you're saying?
It's not being like Antifa.
I would like you to explain what Antifa is.
Sorry.
How many people are in Antifa? What is Antifa? Who's the leader of Antifa?
What is that?
Where's the organization? Where's it founded? Where's it headquartered? What is Antifa?
That's actually a great question.
You have no idea what you're talking about. As you told me before, maybe you should stop that before and hush your mouth.
Antifa literally targeted the ICE agents in July.
That's what she said to me.
They literally targeted the ICE facility in July. That's Antifa. They were charged.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back on the other side.
This is CNN.
When dry eyes need a boost,
Blink. Ready, set, blink.
up to 10 hours of relief to help you keep going. Relief with every blink.
Taxes was chasing updates and getting nowhere. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert, doing it all for you. While keeping you in the loop. So you can keep chasing this feeling. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
What's the secret to peak health? Going micro with Noom. Micro habits, micro wins, even microdose GLP-1s.
And starting at just $99? Heck yeah.
Now starting at just $99.
Life with ear ringing sounded like a constant train whistle I couldn't escape. Then I started taking lipoflavonoid. With 60 years of clinical experience, it's the #1 doctor-recommended brand for ear ringing. And now I'm finally free. Take back control with lipoflavonoid.
When we started Warby Parker, we just sold glasses. And only online. But people liked them. A lot. So we offered more things. Like sunglasses and contacts. And then we thought, what if we sold eyewear online and in stores? So we did that. And now we have stores in neighborhoods all over. There you can chat with friendly opticians and get eye exams from top-notch doctors. Now, no matter where you go, we've got your eyes covered.
I wish my TV provider let me choose what I pay for.
Sling lets you do that.
I like the sound of that.
Choose and customize your channel lineup or pause and watch for free. Sling lets you do that. Base package required.
Hey! Robitussin soft juice!
Packed with the power of Robitussin in every bite. Fast cough relief anywhere. Now with new, improved flavor. Chew on relief, chew on a Robitussin.
Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold or Flu Fizzy Chews. Chew, fizz. Feel better fast. No water needed. Alka-Seltzer Plus Fizzy Chews.
For gentle, dependable constipation relief, try Senecot. It works differently than other laxatives because it's made from the senna plant, a natural vegetable laxative ingredient. Gentle, dependable Senecot. Also available in great-tasting gummies and soft chews.
I avoided the mirror. I felt alone for a long time.
I remember going home and praying for it to go away, not thinking it was something wrong with me.
I go into a lot of things thinking it's not going to work, and I thought muesli would be the same thing. But it actually worked.
More than 700,000 patients have regained their confidence with Muesli's prescription treatments.
When you're hopeless and then you find other women who are in the same boat as you, you suddenly feel okay. We're gonna get out of it together. That's what Muesli did for me.
Force Factor bestsellers like Total Beets, Amazing Ashwa, Ultra Berberine, and Hair Growth Accelerator are available on Walmart.com. Order your Force Factor favorites for fast home delivery or easy pickup in store. Search Force Factor on Walmart.com today.
My dad has never been in better shape. He had a stroke and passed away. But he did an incredible thing for my family. Ethos.com. In 10 minutes, you can be covered with life insurance.
Check your price today at ethos.com.
Want to hear something great?
Mm-hmm. That's a great quote.
You steal stuff?
Do you?
You nailed it, dude.
Actors on Actors, now streaming on the CNN app.
We must protest loudly, urgently, but also peacefully. We must remain peaceful. You have an absolute right to peacefully film ICE agents as they conduct these activities. They want to see us turn on one another, turn towards violence rather than peaceful reconciliation. So we'll protest peacefully. Peacefully express your First Amendment and your constitutional rights. If you protest and express your First Amendment rights, please do so peacefully. This is the peaceful resistance that we need.
So that's a little taste of Tim Walz, who has been under fire by Republicans. The accusation has been by conservatives, including by you, Scott, that he's been inciting violence, but we just played it there.
Okay, you cherry-picked a handful of comments. Did you play the comment where he said, we're under a federal occupation?
Is
What
that,
is that language?
Is that inciting violence?
Of course it is. What does that language sound like to you?
Oh, really?
You have Walz and Fry and Flanagan and the rest of these Democrats in Minnesota radicalizing and propagandizing their constituency, telling them things that aren't true. And what has happened? One lady went out and got into a very, very sad and unfortunate situation. 3 Venezuelan illegals came out and tried to beat an ICE agent to death with a shovel. Hordes of people in the street vandalized and raided ICE vehicles and stole weapons, Kevlar, and documents, and doxed people on the internet last night. Do you believe they are listening to Tim Walz when he talks about peace, or do you think they're listening to Tim Walz who says we're being occupied by the federal government? I think it's obvious.
I appreciate that you acknowledge
I mean, look, the governor is calling for peace. The mayor is calling for peace.
After he declared we were in a civil war.
And then we have ICE agents on the street saying, didn't you see what happened to that other woman? Right? So I think we need a global cooling off period. I think that the president needs to acknowledge that this is not going well, both
Can you get the Venezuelans to cool off with the shovels, or you think you'll be successful with it?
I don't think
Just
anybody should be using violence against anybody.
Okay,
I
should
don't
we
think
deport
people
them?
should be pulled out of their car.
Should we deport them?
If they're illegal, if they are breaking the laws in this country, of course.
Because Walz and Fry say, no, ICE should leave and we should not deport them. So now you're in opposition to Walz and Fry. You admit
that is not what they're saying.
It is.
What
They said ICE go home.
That the
They said no
tactics
federal
that are
law.
being used in Minneapolis
They said no federal
are
ICE.
not
No
working.
ICE.
By the way, they're not working. They're not getting the support of the community. They are not working politically. They are not working functionally. It is creating chaos. And let me tell you something about chaos. The American people hate chaos. You know this.
Yeah.
They like order.
They hate when
And what
Venezuelans
they're seeing-
beat the
and
police
by
to
the way,
death with a shovel.
They usually
They
elect
hate that, too.
Republicans because they think they're going to bring order.
There's no
this
Republicans
guy
in
is setting
Minnesota.
the Republican Party back.
It's Democrats
a
in charge of
generation.
Minnesota.
I'm
Nobody
telling
was
you right
to
now,
death, by
the
the way.
voters are coming, and it's going to be beautiful.
Well, yeah,
They
I
were
mean,
not
look,
beat to
at
death,
the end
by
of the
way.
day, again, we were talking about this earlier. If this was a political home run for Trump and Republicans, we would be seeing that reflected.
Right.
And it's not. Americans are pretty much universally in favor of deporting criminals who are here illegally. They are not in favor of what they're seeing on the streets of American cities. So the politics of this is not lining up with what you're saying.
If you say the Americans are universally in support of deporting criminal aliens, why don't the Democrats who run Minnesota cooperate with DHS to deport criminal aliens? Why do they refuse cooperation? If what you say is true, and it's a universal value of Americans, why don't they do it?
One of the reasons that they have articulated, one of the reasons that they have articulated is that they are trying to make sure that the entire community remains safe. And what ends up happening when they get less cooperation from the community, when it looks like they are cooperating with ICE, which is turning itself into a paramilitary kind of terrorist organization.
No cooperation.
Because of the way that ICE is acting. And
there wouldn't be ICE there.
That is not true. That is not true, because he's sending ICE to multiple cities.
And there's no chaos anywhere else except in this place that's run by radical morons.
1,000 ICE agents and it's sitting with 500 cops.
Here's the other thing that I want.
They can't recruit cops in Minneapolis.
One more thing I want to say. I, as much as anybody, would love that there was no violence, that we could solve this, and that the president was more listening and not trying to crush this opposition, but listening to it and trying to figure out how to decelerate the situation. De-escalate the situation. But our history tells us that the only dissent is not always peaceful. And we don't. And what I think the president.
Justifying violence?
No. And there she goes again.
There I go again.
You're chiming in, saying all the wrong things and making no sense. No, I'm not justifying violence. I'm saying literally, like I just said before, literally, I, as much as anyone, want no violence. But because I've actually read history books, violence occurs in America when people feel oppressed. Okay. And I am saying I don't want that to happen here. And the person who can help to make sure that doesn't happen is the president by de-escalating rather than escalating. That is the problem.
Wait.
Who is being oppressed?
Hold on. Scott, to your earlier point, when Governor Walz came out after Renee Good was shot, he said that this is like the third day of the Battle of Gettysburg, and said that we are in a war with the federal government.
Very peaceful.
To me,
very peaceful.
Right, that's actually not de-escalating the situation or calling for calm. That actually is kind of fanning the flames of violence. We've also had Jacob Fry.
Let me
actually go back to Tim Walz. I forgot.
There's a woman with a bullet in her head. That's the violence.
Trump's personal Gestapo.
There's a woman with a bullet in her head.
Peaceful.
There's a woman with a bullet in her head.
Because she tried to run over an ICE agent.
There's a woman with a bullet in her head.
Because she tried to run an ICE agent over. She literally grazed him internal bleeding. He has internal bleeding.
I mean, the internal bleeding. He didn't even drop the phone. The guy was videotaping with a gun, with a phone. He shot her 3 times in the head.
Because she accelerated at him.
He didn't even drop the phone. The phone was still in his hand and the gun was in the phone. I mean, his feet were his feet. Did you see?
Accelerated.
Okay. Did you see her, the wheel?
She was supposed to be looking at the wheel.
You don't mind that she got hurt.
Ridiculous.
You don't mind that she got hurt.
I think it's tragic that she accelerated towards her.
All right. Hold on a second. I wonder if there is a middle ground here, because I actually think it is a legitimate conversation to have about ICE. They have a immigration detainer for people who are currently incarcerated. Can they go get those folks? That's a legitimate conversation to have. At the same time, that's not really what we're seeing happening in Minneapolis, because it doesn't take 3,000 agents to get people out of jail.
Well, when they're being attacked, it does.
And so,
Abby, you're right.
Can we be somewhere in the middle? Is it possible
for
there to be not a surge of ICE agents on the street of the city?
You've almost got it.
You've almost got 600 people, while also having a conversation about that other
In all the places in America where there is cooperation in the way you just described, where they have detainers and the local officials are cooperating, you have minimal ICE presence because they're just administratively transferring them. In Minneapolis, there is no cooperation on respecting of the detainers. So the middle ground here would be, yes, if we arrest someone and they have a detainer, we will turn them over.
Here's the thing, Scott, that kind of glosses over the other facts here, which is that is not all that federal agents are doing in Minneapolis. They are going door to door in Hispanic and Somali communities, knocking on doors and trying to just detain people. We know that because of eyewitnesses who have been there. We know that because, actually, let's go ahead and play this, because this video was from earlier this week. This is of a house that was being raided by ICE agents. I just want to show you it. I think we can either play it or show you it. So they were going in there to get a man named Garrison Gibson. There were children in that house. They were armed. They burst into the house. Mr. Gibson's lawyers filed with the judge to say that they did not have a warrant.
Is he an illegal alien?
Hold on. He had just been in an ICE office checking in, as he has been required to do.
So yes.
So, well, hold on, Scott. He had an arrangement with ICE that allowed him to be in the country as long as he checked in. He had just checked in with them. They could have picked him up last week when he was in the office. They didn't do that. What they did was they broke down the door without a warrant, and they detained him. And there are reports that a federal judge has ordered him released. So if it was only that they were trying to get people who had been in prisons and whatever, that would be one thing. But a lot of that is also happening too, Scott.
Listen.
And again, that is the issue that Minneapolis residents have with what ICE is doing.
And here's the response.
That is the issue.
The only reason this is happening, the only reason there are 3,000 ICE agents or whatever there are there, is because they can't get an arrangement with the locals to pick them up in the jails. This would not be happening if they were doing it like everybody else.
Just because you keep saying that doesn't make it true. That man was not in a jail. He was not in a prison. It doesn't make it true just because you say it. There are many people who are being detained who were not in prisons, who were not people who had final orders of removal, who were not people who were
but they are illegal aliens, yes.
Okay.
17-year-old American
so Scott, you got to pick your argument. It's either that this is all happening because they're not handing over all the criminals, or they're surging into Minneapolis and creating upheaval in a community. And in some cases, in this case, there's an argument to be made that they didn't even have a warrant to break down the door.
They know an illegal alien lives there, though, yes?
It is performative.
Okay, and?
It's like, come on.
Abby, you and I just have a fundamental disagreement. I think illegal immigration law should be enforced, and you don't.
We don't have a fundamental disagreement on that. We actually have a fundamental disagreement about whether or not laws should be, and constitutional rights should be followed by everybody.
Yeah, but Minneapolis isn't following that.
By immigrants and also by the law enforcement.
What about
illegal immigrants?
Should they follow
okay, let's just end with a quick question.
It's not a citizen. This is an illegal alien.
There's a cruelty issue. There's a cruelty issue.
A 17-year-old boy, American citizen, got picked up 4 hours, beat up, and thrown out.
Just a quick question.
Issue here.
American citizen.
Do you think that they ought to have? Do you think that they ought to have a warrant?
What just happened?
Wait, Scott, how many before going out? Is Donald Trump a convicted felon?
Hold on a second, Lev, just a second. Do you think that they ought to have a warrant before breaking down a door to arrest someone?
I don't know what that guy's situation is. I know he's an illegal alien, and that's all I know about that case.
So you don't
know. Do I think they need a warrant to arrest an illegal alien?
Well, let me just let you know, Scott. They do need a warrant.
To arrest an illegal alien?
In order to break down a door and enter someone's home, okay? So,
but an illegal alien is in there and they know it.
Hold on.
Don't they have suspicion then that?
Hold on a second.
It's the 4th and the 14th.
Hold on a second. That same man was in an ICE office
I know.
a week prior.
And I know you want to find a way for him to live here happily ever after, but he's an illegal alien.
Why didn't they just arrest him in the ICE office?
This is performance.
I don't run their office. I don't run their operation.
This is performance. And there are other places in the country where there are large populations of people who here are undocumented. He's doing it in blue cities, in blue states.
Because they won't cooperate.
For performance.
They won't cooperate.
No, and there's a deal to be had
They're not
here.
cooperating.
And there is a deal to be had
How come they aren't offering it?
Oh, please. Look,
I guess ICE is not cooperating with itself because they could easily have handed this man over to ICE.
You all spend so much energy protecting illegal populations as Democrats.
All right, next for us, Venezuela's Maria Corina Machado says that she presented her Nobel Peace Prize to President Trump today. So what could that possibly mean for the future of Venezuela? We're going to discuss that next.
Have I Got News for You? New season premieres January 24th on CNN and next day on the CNN app. And Doug.
Imagine if we could tell everyone here that Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save people hundreds. It's a mascot!
Oh, what's this? A fan has run out onto the field and he's not wearing pants.
Do birds need pants?
And the control room censored it. Oh!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Doctors recommend Colay stool softener for gentle, dependable relief from constipation. It's so gentle, doctors even recommend it during pregnancy and after surgery. Colay increases water in the stool, making it softer so it's easier to go. No harsh laxatives, cramping, or straining. Colay.
Living with chronic migraine? 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine, and treatment is 4 times a year. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like botulinum toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 91% of patients wish they'd started Botox sooner. Ask your doctor today. If eligible, you may pay $0.
Take your business from launch to legendary with Shopify. Sell more with the world's best converting checkout and turn analytics into opportunities so you can scale further, faster. Take your business to a whole new level. Switch to Shopify. Start your free trial today.
How do we stop it?
We need someone who can code in COBOL.
What's COBOL?
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
Indeed can help you get it right the first time. Sponsor your job on Indeed and get matched with quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com/hire now.
If you have wet AMD or DME, you never want to lose sight of the things you love. And your condition doesn't have to steal the moment. Long-lasting EYLEA HD delivers powerful vision improvements that can save your vision for the future. EYLEA HD is the only treatment for wet AMD and DME that helped at least 8 out of 10 people go up to 4 months between injections after 3 initial monthly treatments. Don't take EYLEA HD if you have an eye infection, eye pain, redness, or are allergic to it. Eye injections like EYLEA HD may cause eye infection, separation of the retina, rare but severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye, or increased eye pressure. There is an uncommon risk of heart attack or stroke. There's still so much to see. Ask about next generation EYLEA HD, a treatment retina specialists trust.
I used to think all money managers were the same, but Fisher Investments is different.
How different are they really?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, and they reach out proactively.
They probably invest in a bunch of mutual funds like other money managers.
No, they build a tailored portfolio based on your personal goals, needs, and more.
Well, they probably have a complex fee structure.
No, Fisher has a transparent fee that's a percentage of your portfolio.
So we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
VisionWorks makes things simple. We organize frames by shape and price.
Oh, I love these.
And if you change your mind?
Yeah, I changed my mind.
There's our 100-day guarantee. VisionWorks. See the difference.
Whoa, let me back up for a minute.
So beautiful.
Wow.
Oh my God.
We do this for real.
Look at this. Oh my God, look at that. That's good, man.
Whoa, let me back up for a minute.
That is so good.
We do this for real.
Tonight, he didn't win it, but now he has it. Today, the opposition leader of Venezuela came to give Donald Trump a peace offering and an incentive to back her.
I presented the President of the United States the medal of the Nobel Peace Prize.
So, Lev, in the first Trump administration, you were infamously involved in back channels with Maduro. What do you make of this?
I mean, it's embarrassing. I mean, it's just, nothing changed. This all started out in 2018, 2019. Same players involved, same people are doing it. My ex-partner, Harry Sargent, Rick Grenell, the same names that, are involved right now. You saw the reporting in Reuters. And he's not going to support Machado, just like he didn't support Guaidó. I mean, we discussed, see, back in 2019, Maduro wanted to leave. Maduro wanted a soft landing. He was willing to give up everything, and that's what we were trying to negotiate with Trump. Trump was willing to discuss it, even to the point where we delivered a letter to Trump from Maduro that nobody even knows about. But Bolton found out, and when Rudy came into the Oval to discuss our conversation with Maduro, Bolton flipped, and that's when the whole Guaidó invasion, it was Bolton and Pompeo that basically went behind Trump's back. Trump never supported Guaidó, never was going to deal with it. He was trying to work out a deal through me, Harry Sargent, and others.
So you think he's going to just leave the now former Maduro deputies in charge?
Well, I'll tell you this much. So I'll give you a conversation we had. So just so you understand. When we had a conversation, and now you're seeing also signs of that there's going to be people that are coming in. They're not military, but mercenaries that are coming in. So back in the day, in 2019, there was a conversation. We had Congressman Pete Sessions was there, John Solomon, the whole BLT crew, Rudy, and we were talking about what if Trump doesn't support Guaidó? What if, what are our chances to get Maduro to go? What if he doesn't go with this? And there was a conversation that was bluntly said by Harry, said, listen, if we have to, Erik Prince will take him out. And basically, Delcy, what people don't know, is a much friendlier player to the Trump.
She's the now president of Venezuela.
She was friendlier than Maduro even back then.
So the Nobel Peace Prize committee said today that once a Nobel Prize is announced, it cannot be revoked, shared, or transferred to others. The decision is final and stands for all time. A medal can change owners, however, but the title of Nobel Peace Prize laureate cannot. So he's got the medal, but he's still not a laureate. And I'm not sure if that's enough for him, but it's good enough for now, it seems.
And, I don't even blame her for doing it. I think that they're in a desperate situation in Venezuela. Whatever she feels like she needs to do to calm him down and make a better situation for the post-Maduro era of Venezuela, it is what it is. If it feels like it's going to make him happier, make a smoother situation for the people of Venezuela so that they will eventually, finally get more of a democracy, a working government that works for the people and not just for the rich people. If that helps, whatever.
And I know a guy on Canal Street that will make her an identical medal right now. It won't even cost that much.
But guys, here's the problem. That doesn't help. It doesn't help because he's not going to support her. He's dealing the Maduro. When we say the Maduro regime changed, it didn't change. It got worse. Maduro was a figure. Delcy is the one that has the relationships with Putin. Delcy is the one that has a relationship with Harry Sargent. Delcy has the relationships with Pete Murat and then the guys behind.
I guess all I'm saying is that I don't blame her. I'm not.
I don't blame her either. I mean, listen,
to deal with Trump.
Put it this way, Guaidó back then, literally.
Let me bring Scott in for a second because I wonder. I mean, what Lev seems to be pointing out is that Trump has already made a decision here, and despite all the nice things that have been said about Machado, he's not really going to back her. And what is now in Venezuela might very well be worse, more repressive than what was there before. Is that a risk?
Sure. Some people say she is worse than Maduro. But I think on the short term, leaving a functioning government in place, at least here over the last couple of weeks, has kept the country from falling into chaos. They've also released some political prisoners, including some Americans. That's a good thing. Eventually, what you would hope is that they would have elections and the people of Venezuela would choose their government. And whether Trump has a choice in that or not, or whether we have a preference in that or not, I guess I care about that less and more about what the people of Venezuela want. Now, and I'm not sure how quickly you can have an election, but eventually you'll have to get there.
He's the one who has said that he has declared himself the ruler, the president, acting president of Venezuela. He has said that we are running Venezuela, that we're calling the shots. But if I don't know, is Scott right that we're not calling the shots, or is Trump right that we're calling the shots?
Well, I think Scott's right. I think, first of all, and whether or not people at this table want to believe it, Every country in the Western Hemisphere does exist at our pleasure because we are the superpower. Whether you don't believe it. And wait, when it comes to Venezuela right now, to Scott's point, you can't
just to be clear, you're saying every country in the hemisphere exists because we want them to exist.
No, not because we want them.
What are we saying?
It exists at our pleasure. So, for example, can I explain? When Venezuela is cozying up to Putin and China, President Trump is well within his right because we are the dominant force in the Western Hemisphere to then go and take out Maduro on drug charges.
I guess
okay?
our new national anthem will be the Imperial March from Star Wars.
Wait,
Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to unpack all of that. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We will be right back in just a moment.
All the news, all on Laura Coates Live, next on CNN.
Okay, you got this. It's just a laxative. How scary could it be? You can do hard things.
Honey, relax. It's Miralax.